All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're tackling something literally every single one of us has dealt with, the massive, sometimes overwhelming challenge of actually achieving our biggest dreams. More importantly, we're going to unpack the fascinating science behind the people who actually make those dreams happen. I mean, we've all had those moments where we just wanted to throw in the towel, right? So what exactly separates the people who quit from the people who conquer? Let's find out.
Section 1. The story of Shashank. So, picture this. There's this young guy named Shashank living in a small village. He absolutely loved learning new things, and he had these incredibly big dreams. But as is often the case, the villagers around him would constantly mock him. They'd always tell him, hey, it's really easy to dream big, but it is incredibly hard to actually pull those dreams off.
But Shashank, he completely tuned them out. He refused to let their negativity defeat him. He just put his head down, worked his tail off every single day, an inch closer to his goal. And sure, he faced multiple failures along the way, but he never stopped trying. As time went on, all that hard work finally paid off, and he became highly successful in his field. And the ultimate plot twist here? The exact same villagers who used to laugh at him actually started using him as a role model. Shashank realized a profound truth. Dreams are fulfilled by those who don't freeze up at difficulties, but who actually learn from them and just keep moving forward. It goes to show that with hard work, patience, and some serious self-belief, even the biggest dreams are totally within reach.
Which brings us to a massive question, the why. Why do some people completely fall apart when things get hard, while others, just like Shashank, manage to succeed? Why is it that some incredibly, remarkably intelligent people just throw their hands up and quit at the very first sign of a struggle, while others, who maybe aren't considered natural-born geniuses, just keep pushing through?
That brings us to Section 2, Grit and the Science of Perseverance.
To really get to the bottom of this, we've got to look at the psychology. Enter a concept called grit. This was coined by psychologist Angela Duckworth, and it's basically defined as having the perseverance and passion for long-term goals. And here is the craziest part. It is actually a better predictor of long-term success than your IQ. Why? Because grit gives you the mental stamina required to just stay the course when things get messy. It's the engine that kept Shashank moving forward.
But grit needs a partner in crime, right? And that's psychological resilience. If grit is the stamina you need to run a marathon, resilience is your ability to get right back up after you trip and scrape your knee at mile 10. It's how you mentally cope with a crisis and bounce back from setbacks quickly. And this ability is deeply, deeply rooted in maintaining a positive mindset. It lets you process that immediate, painful sting of failure so you can keep moving forward instead of just staying down on the ground.
Moving right along to Section 3, Growth Mindset versus Fixed Mindset.
This all ties back to some really groundbreaking research by psychologist Carol Dweck. She essentially found that when it comes to learning, humanity is split into two distinct psychological frameworks. You've got the fixed mindset, where the brain feels totally stuck and overwhelmed. And then you have the growth mindset, where the brain is on fire, actively generating ideas. Basically, how you view your own intelligence fundamentally changes how you respond to failure. Let's do a quick mental check right now. Pay attention to your own inner dialogue. When you hit a roadblock, what does the voice in your head sound like? A fixed mindset tells you things like, oh, this is way too hard, or I made a mistake, so clearly I'm just not smart enough. But a growth mindset, it totally reframes that exact same situation. It tells you, okay, this might take some time and effort, and these mistakes are actually going to help me improve. It literally transforms a dead end into a stepping stone.
Which leads perfectly into Section 4. Learning from failure.
This completely explains the whole Shashank situation. The villagers, they had a classic fixed mindset. To them, having to try hard was a bad thing. If you had to put in effort, it meant you weren't a natural. So they avoided effort and hid their mistakes just to look smart. But Shashank embraced a growth mindset. He genuinely understood that effort and hard work are the literal keys to unlocking your potential and getting smarter. In his mind, mistakes weren't shameful secrets. They were these incredible, golden opportunities to learn.
Section 5. Lessons from Stories and History.
Okay, you've got to hear about the Chinese bamboo tree because it is the ultimate metaphor for this whole concept. For the first 4 years, you water it, you fertilize the ground, and absolutely nothing happens above the surface. Nothing. A fixed mindset would look at that dirt, call it a failure, and walk away. But a growth mindset knows that for those 4 invisible years, that tree is building a massive, incredibly strong root system underground. And then, boom, Year 5, it shoots up with rapid, visible growth. It proves that invisible, patient effort is never, ever wasted, even if you can't see the results right away.
And we see this exact same pattern everywhere. Look at Thomas Edison. The guy famously failed hundreds of times before inventing the light bulb, but he viewed every single one of those failures as a necessary step toward the final discovery. We see it in cultural stories too, like young Mohan, a farmer's son who reached incredible academic heights simply through daily, quiet diligence. We even see it in legends, like King Bruce watching a spider repeatedly fall in a cave, only to just keep rebuilding its web until it finally succeeded. The science of perseverance really is a universal truth.
Finally, Section 6. The true mantra for success. I absolutely love this quote from Carol Dweck because it just hits the nail on the head. In one world, effort is a bad thing. It, like failure, means you're not smart or talented. In the other world, effort is what makes you smart or talented. The biggest takeaway here, your mindset isn't hardwired, it's just a belief. And the beauty of beliefs is that with the right training and a little self-awareness, you can shift them. You can actively rewire your brain to stop dodging effort and start totally embracing it.
So I want to leave you with this to chew on. Knowing that setbacks do not define you, and that invisible progress is still progress, just like that bamboo tree. What goal are you willing to fail at today so you can succeed tomorrow? What dream are you strengthening your roots for right now? Keep watering those roots, embrace the struggle, and just watch how your mindset shapes your ultimate success.